Hello friends, what's up? This is Ron here, and in today's video I'm just going to wrap up this winter event that we are having so far. And to show you guys, I have these 14,000 winter dice game dices. So we're gonna roll these 14,000 dices. And to be honest, my friends, I'm a bit drunk. I just took a couple of beers and it feels really good, so I'm going to just enjoy myself, and hopefully I can get as much as rubies possible. And of course I'll be getting a lot of these these tokens as well, because after completing certain levels I'll be getting certain tokens. And of course I have some more tokens here. So we'll be doing the final Chizuru summon to see if we can get her to A3. That's going to be a big deal, my friends. A free character, SS character A3. Awesome stuff. So now let's start with the dice game, and here we go. Let's roll the first dice, and we have 23 hours left. So hell yeah, my friends. Let's go. Let's go. And while I'll be rolling my dice, woohoo! Welcome rubies, my friends. Welcome rubies. So I'll be talking about some predictions or some thinking about the BS banner characters that we are having. And honestly, this is the first time, my friends, in the entire history. This is the first time when netmarble refused to disclose any sort of leaks, information, trailer, or anything. I mean, think about the past characters or past banners, my friends. I was like, creating stories like, whenever boss syndrome, for example, whenever boss syndrome Gaines, boss syndrome Leona came, we know that about 4 or 5 days ago I was making videos like, what are the stories of Leona? What are the stories of Gaines? These sort of stuff. We were well aware of those characters. But now, what's happening? What is happening? 23 hours left before the banner rolls out. And what we know so far? Nothing. Nothing, my friends. Nothing. Nada. Entirely nothing. My goodness. I mean, how can it be? netmarble, how can disclose, how can they so far hide this sort of informations? It is totally beyond their planning and everything, my friends. Previously they used to provide us some sort of information. They maybe provide us some sort of videos, some sort of trailers or something. In some occasions they also even revealed informations like character types, dots, or even a lot of informations. We have seen that, but now nothing. Nobody can tell what are the characters. Now the thing is, so far we are imagining a lot of stuff, and about 99% of King of Fighters All-Star player are actually confirmed or united about one single opinion. That is, Nameless is going to be one of the next BS characters. And now I know all of you guys love Nameless a lot, and personally I love Nameless a lot as well. He has a decent history, and actually he has some depth in his character. I mean, he's not just a fighter who just goes around and fights, but he actually has a very convincing story behind his character. So this is why he is kind of an adored character by most King of Fighters All-Star players. So this is why I don't have any problem, or actually I will be really happy if we see boss syndrome, a Nameless as a boss syndrome character. But the thing is that Nameless is not really a boss fighter. Honestly, my friends, Nameless is not a boss fighter. Yes, And in most or I would say all traditional King of Fighters original releases, for example say from King of Fighters 94 to King of Fighters latest editions, there is nowhere we can find Nameless as a boss or a mid boss. Only in King of Fighters Ultimate, that is King of Fighters Ultimate Match 2002, only there we can find him as a mid boss, and that was actually a remake of the game by Playmore, and that was not an original King of Fighters game series or something like that. But still he was a mid boss there. So in that way, only in that way, actually he can be associated with the boss characters. But here comes the doubt, my friends, that is Netmarble or King of Fighters All Star is going to consider him as a boss fighter or not. So that can be a question that I cannot answer right now, because maybe Netmarble or King of Fighters team will consider him as a boss. It is totally their will. But if they ignore to choose him as a boss, I mean, no one can say against it, right? There is nothing to be said. He is not a traditional boss like so far we have seen in the Boss Syndrome Volume 1. We have seen Rugal, Orochi, two pretty much identified boss in different game series. Nothing wrong with that. Once again, in Boss Syndrome Volume 2, we are having BS Grizzled, BS Geese. They are also renowned bosses. Coming to Boss Syndrome Volume 3, Boss Syndrome Ignis, Boss Syndrome Zero Original, nobody is going to say nothing against them. They are bosses. We all know that. Now, in next Boss Syndrome in Genis and Leona, we all know about Genis. He is a notorious King of Fighters boss. And to some extent he is one of the most evil person in the game. And Leona, actually she became a sub boss in King of Fighters 97. She was so frequent and she is quite well known about that fact. So we cannot actually say that none of them are actually having no boss character. None of the Boss Syndrome characters are actually not a boss. I mean, I cannot sum up this sentence in a right way, but I wanted to say that there is not a single Boss Syndrome character in this Boss Syndrome lineup that is not actually a boss character. And if we think about Nameless, then he was a potential mid boss. He was not even a regular boss. Actually, he is a good guy. We all know that he is a good guy, and honestly, my friends, I always expected Nameless to be an SS character, because there are bunch of good guys in the Nest saga, say K-Dash, say Kula, Diamond, say, and also Nameless. These are the good guys of the Nest saga, and both K-Dash and Kula came as SS fighters, and I don't want to say how good they are or how bad they are. It's totally dependable. They are strong in their own areas, but I think it would have been logically true if we see Nameless as an SS fighter. But if Netmarble decides to give him as an BS fighter, I am more than happy about that, my friends. Honestly, I am more than happy about it. But the thing is, it doesn't really fit the profile of the character. It doesn't really fit that. I mean, at least you can say that, hey, Leona is not a bad guy character. Leona is a good guy character. So how come she's a Boss Syndrome fighter? Well, the right of blood affected Leona was totally an evil one, and she was actually a boss in 97, mid boss. In this way, we can say, of course, Leona's the version where the right of blood is activated that version was really evil one. So yeah, she's boss syndrome fighter, she's a boss and she's an evil fighter in that sense, so it is okay that she is to be a boss syndrome fighter. But in Nameless's case, I don't really see any such cases. I don't really find any convincing reasons rather than the fact that he was a potential mid boss in King of Fighters 2002 Ultimate Match. So whether netmarble considers him as a boss syndrome fighter or not, he must or he should appear as a boss syndrome fighter, as we all are expecting. About, as I said before, that 99% people are actually expecting him as a boss syndrome fighter. I hope that he arrives as a boss syndrome fighter, because other than that, I have some gauges in my mind which I am going to talk about a bit later. But first, just let me just talk about Nameless a bit. Nameless was actually made to replace K Tetra 9, that is K9999 in the lineup, and presumably due to the copyright issue surrounding his character, and there was some problems, that's why SNK decided to discontinue the character K of Tetra 9, and they introduced Nameless instead. Let me just finish this up. Okay, cool. And the personality of Nameless was kind of sympathetic and tragic at the same time. He is a young man, he has a tragic past and who wishes only to be with his beloved, and he locked away his emotions to follow his creator's order without question, with the simple hope that he can just resurrect his lover. All he had in his mind was to resurrect Isolde, that is his girlfriend or lover, what you can say. In this special intro in Kula Diamond, he actually mistakes her for Isolde, and he kind of thinks Kula as the resurrected Isolde, but that was kind of pathetic because she is not, we all know that. And of course, like K-Dash, he has his same arrogance, or I would say feelings of anger or sentiment against both K-Dash and K, and he is willing to just show his own power and to prove himself better than both Kyo and K-Dash. That is kind of interesting about him. And in terms of battle abilities or powers, he actually have that same pyrokinesis technique, that is we have seen the same technique in both K-Dash and Kyo. That pyrokinesis technique is actually the technique or ability to generate fire, but there is some difference of his pyrokinesis, and due to the fact that he has the same Kusanagi DNA within him, he can actually manipulate and generate and manipulate the genetically altered blood colored flame. That is, his flame is not really yellow or purple or anything, but it is kind of red in color. So whatever red you see whenever he does his actions is not actually blood or anything, but that's actually the flame. But of course, he is not as strong as Kyo or Yuri in terms of generating fire or flames, because Kyo and Yuri are actually more superior in terms of generating fire and flames, and they can do without any changes or any problems. They can just bring the fire from thin air. But in the case of Nameless, he actually had to remove his gloves, and once he removes his gloves, that you can see when he does his 3PGs, you can see that he actually removes his gloves and does something. And actually this removing these gloves actually enables him to generate this fire or pyrokinesis, that is actually red in color. Also, he can actually create flame wave, flame shield, flamethrower, and flame pillars at the same time. Now, talking about this glove is a kind of an interesting feature in this character. This glove is actually created by crafted by Isolde's DNA. That is kind of mysterious and interesting at the same time, my friends. And Isolde herself was a part of the Anti-K project, but that project didn't really come to success because Isolde didn't survive the experiments and she died, while Kula Diamond actually survived all those experiments by the nests, and she actually survived and she finally became the Anti-K weapon. But actually initially Isolde was intended to be made the Anti-K weapon, but somehow she didn't survive. But Nest actually used her DNA and created that gloves. That gloves can actually pacify the flames of Nameless and keep it under control. That is a very interesting thing, and this is why we can actually see the holographic image of Isolde whenever Nameless actually unleashes his full powers, and that is kind of a magnificent scenario in the entire King of Fighters All-Star game, I would say. And his current 3PG is one of the best, I would say, in top 1 to 3 position, or maybe the best one, I would say, in terms of details, in terms of associations, descriptions, and everything, my friends. So this brings a lot of history into before us whenever this 3PG is actually into action. So good to see, my friends. Wow. And beside other powers, Nameless actually has superhuman endurance, and he actually endured so much experiments and so much hard stuffs on him that he developed this superhuman endurance. And as a survivor of many experiments focused on pain, Nameless has built a great endurance to a great levels. So that is a thing. It's good to be known that he can actually endure a lot of pain, both, I would say, physically and mentally. Now, his fighting style roughly is same as K999's, with the exception of several aesthetic changes, of course, and he relies more on pure instinct and less on his glove. Of course, his pure instinct is more reliable, and overall he focuses more on his flames by removing the glove for a brief moment just to access them for a single attack. And all of his techniques are written in the usual technique name format as opposed to quote style K999's uses. So this character actually has a bit of a influence from the K999's actions and everything, I would say. But if we think about in terms of gameplay, then he is definitely way more powerful than his predecessor, that is K999. He is way powerful, and he is considered as a top tier character along with K-Dash and Kasumi Toro. And of course, K-Dash is a very powerful character, but Nameless is equally strong or even more than strong in some cases. His moves make use of the infamous pretzel motion, most famously used in Geese Howard's Raging Storm. So that is a good thing to know, my friends. So that was the brief introduction about Nameless and whatever we can know from him from the wikis and many different sources. But I believe if he appears as a post-serum character, that actually may be a groundbreaking character, of course. But at the same time, I have a fear in my mind a fear that I don't want to face, my friends. The fear is, in most cases, we have seen netmarble actually ignored the most popular characters, and they rarely made the most popular characters as the strongest ones. And I actually talked about this fact many times, and yeah, that is the fact. I mean, if we just ignore the boss syndrome volume 1, and there is main reason that we should ignore boss syndrome volume 1, because netmarble itself is ignoring the boss syndrome volume 1. They didn't buff those characters, they didn't do anything to improve those characters, while they gave big buffs to boss syndrome volume 2 and 3 characters. Because there is a reason, my friends. The reason is both Rugal and Orochi are actually equally powerful and popular at the same time. In actual game, in the game scenario, both of the characters are equally powerful and popular. Both of the characters are famous bosses. They are equally popular, and hardly we can distinguish between their popularity. I would say 50-50. But let's say Chrysalid versus Geese. Who is more popular? What do you think? How many people actually preferred Chrysalid? No one. No one, my friends. But guess what? Chrysalid became the game breaking character. And he actually introduced stuffs like, doing guild in solo mode. And before Chrysalid, this was totally an unthinkable matter. Nobody can ever thought about doing guild raids with one key or solo. These things before Chrysalid was unthinkable. But the thing is, more popular boss syndrome Geese was actually released with Chrysalid. But Geese didn't have that power, or didn't have that survivability, or didn't have that high amount of damage or anything. He couldn't do it. He simply couldn't do it. Though he have shock, he is still not that effective against Geese guild. I mean the guild boss Geese. Though our BS Geese has shock, he is not that effective. Nobody can use him. That is a big problem. But still, Chrysalid can be used in any guild raid. It can be expert mode against Rugal. It can be lunatic mode against Rugal. Anywhere, he can be used anywhere. He is a damn good character, and he is of course way less popular than BS Geese. Now here comes the problem that netmarble didn't really give much importance to the more popular characters. Let's say BS Genis, BS Leona. And what do you think? Who is the more popular character? As a boss syndrome character, as a boss, Genis is way more popular than Leona. Way more popular. Genis actually has his own lore and everything. He is a cult, to be honest. And Leona, of course, Leona is popular. Of course, a lot of people uses Leona, but she was not a match for Genis. And guess what? She is tons more powerful than Genis. And nowadays, I don't even use Genis at all. I use Leona and I keep Genis as her striker. I mean, what a shame is that? Now, if we think in this way, then my friends, I am really afraid that even if Nameless is brought as a boss syndrome character, we really need to think about how strong he is going to be. We really need to analyze his what should I say, abilities, dots, and everything before we can actually call him as a strong character, because he is the most popular character. And looks like, my friends, we have finished our dice, and let's see how far we have gone. Only level 16. Oh boy, only level 16 and not more than that. So we missed out this 350 rupees and 500 of these coins as well. But what else we can do, my friends? What else we can do? Maybe tomorrow I'll be getting a 100 coin or so, but I don't really care about it. Let's see if we have anything here. We have a lot of stuffs here, my friends. Just going to collect them. Let's collect these coins and rubies. Lots of rubies, my friends. Lots of rubies, and I believe you guys are also enjoying these things. And now comes the big thing, my friends. Big thing. Here we go. So we talked about Nameless a lot. I hope he comes as a BS character. I love him. But let's get this Chizuru first. And let me just get ready. And we have 6,000 coins. And here we go. Oh boy! Oh boy! First attempt and we got it! We got the coin. First attempt and we got the coin. Oh, ha, ha. Here we go. Let's try. Okay, I don't mind. I don't mind. Okay. Some people say that it was a bug, it was fixed. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, maybe it can be. It can be a bug. It can be fixed. But we need to make the character 3-star. That's all we care about. Come on, man. Give us more coins. Oh boy, no. Okay. Looks like I have to finish this entire board, right? They're taking a revenge for me being happy. Oh, come on, man. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, yeah! We got it. We got it. Probably we got the memory that we want. Let's see, my friends. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to play. And after that, we're going to craft and see what we're getting, what we got, what we're missing. Remember that actually I don't have the option card yet. So I need, of course, more of these coins. Okay, nice. Oh no. So I would say it was a pretty decent event, I would say. Free character for everyone. Free SS character, my friends. SS character, not as. And of course, she is one of the important characters in the entire King of Fire series. But I wish there was some sort of imprint stone, selection type things, because with that imprint stones, okay, we got this. We got this. Once again, we got this. Amazing. So I believe if it was a bug or anything, they actually improved the drop rate of these coins. Because I remember on the first day, I had to spend 2,000 coins for getting one of these coins only. 2,000 for one coin. I mean, can you believe it? Boy. Now I won't be able to get two of them, right? No. Okay. 900 of these coins left. So it's becoming all about resources. Just getting resources. 600. Come on, man. Yeah, okay. It's okay. Doesn't really matter. No complaints, my friends. So the final one. Yeah. It's done. It's done for us, I guess. But still, 1 days of gameplay left. So tomorrow I'll be getting 800. Let's see. But here, let me just craft. We have 4 coins. We got 4 coins, and I'm going to craft this memory now. Hell yeah, my friends. Hell yeah. So got our memory, and of course I'm going to grab this option card, and basically that would be the end of Chizuru event for us. We got our character, we got the memories, and let me just check out how many memories we are having. Let's go to the memories. And where is the Chizuru memory? Here we go, my friends. 3 memories. Cool stuff. So what I'm going to do about it, that's a different question, because I might actually keep them, or maybe awaken her, or maybe I will see. I will think about it. And let me just craft some of these. Okay, I can do it later because the video is actually getting a lot longer, and our mission is completed. We actually got our Chizuru. We can actually make her 3-star, and I actually bought all the set cards and special cards from the shop. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this winter event, which was actually pretty much nice one. We all loved it, and hope to see you guys soon, and wish you all the best for the upcoming Boss Syndrome banner. I hope these summon raids are working really well with you, and you get a lot of memories, you get the good cards that you want. I wish you all the best, my friends. Hope to see you guys soon, and peace out.